also want to talk about something been bothering me, and I wanted to make a point is that I was there at one time in my 20s, and I had no insurance. I didn't even care if I had insurance. I didn't care if I had health problems because I was young. My energy, I had strong energy. I was a hyper kid, very hyper, but still was slow. But I was sick from like in my 20s. Apparently I already had contracted the virus in my 20s. I didn't know until like around 1999, around there, 98, 99, when I was selling solar water heater systems, and I really like solar, you know, and I'm glad it advanced in that direction, and industry is exploding now, like so much companies. But I already had an interest in solar and using the power of the sun to get natural energy, and I was always into energy and this mysterious power that we can access in the universe and things like that. I mean, like natural radiation. I think now that the state that I live in, they have realized Tesla's laws and created or duplicated a system where they can produce natural energy on a repeated basis and duplicate it, and keeps its process through natural sources. And that's how far it got there. I think now, I recently heard that they're just trying to find a balance in keeping that surge of natural energy that they have consumed and stored, and filtering it out into the grid in a more consistent, balanced process, so that there's no spikes or not enough surge, and not like you start cooking or you turn on your lights and your lights go off and your lights go on, and stuff like that. So finding the balance where there's a consistent flow of energy flowing through each home, but they're getting, and the thing is, they're getting the energy naturally, and yet our prices are really high. So I guess it's expensive to do it that way, but that's a real advancement now. We're really going that direction. And I started there early, but I was in a meeting. I was sitting in a assignment shop, and apparently I went to do a study on how to lose weight. It was a weight loss study that I wanted to participate in. And in fact, it was right across the street from where I'm living now. And then they called me on my cell, and I was in the booth. I was in the corner, and then all the guys, one on the opposite side, and then the guys, 3-4 guys blocking me. It was a long booth. And I answer the phone, and they tell me that something's wrong with my liver, and I gotta go see my doctor. So I was really down. I was up, and I just went, whoa. And I was young. I was like 24, well, maybe like 25 or something like that. I really didn't know how to handle like that kind of news, So, no, I was older than that. I was maybe like 28. But still, I didn't know how to handle that kind of news. I already had a son. He was about one or two. And then my other son probably was on its way. So that's why I was working. But, I was tired. I was tired all the time. So I had to give up the solar industry. And then I went to school, and all this time, I went and I found out that they took a test that I had hepatitis C, and then I was lucky I didn't have AIDS or any other kind of disease. It was just hepatitis C. So they said I only had like 30 years more to live, and that was back in my son is 18 now, 19 now, going on 19. So if they're telling me that I have 30 years from that point on, then I probably got less than 5-10 years more or something. But then recently, my last test, which is from the same doctors that I'm going to now, a continuation from St. Francis, and the last doctor that I had, he told me I only had 5 years to live, and 3 years already went by. So this treatment is really important. But I could feel the energy was so low, the tiredness. I was tired, like even it doesn't matter how motivated, I practice motivation, I get motivated, I listen to tapes, I read books, I try to get motivated, and I just feel so tired. So what I'm going to try to do is, but then, okay, so that was back then. But like I said, by choosing, by rest, all this rest that I had, and then choosing, words and phrases that lift my spirits, sometimes I don't feel as tired. But then there's other things to check that could be making me tired, like the tired syndrome. Yeah, I like to check if I have the tired syndrome, fatigue syndrome, or something like that. Or any other stuff that makes you tired, that can make you tired. I think that's important to check. So, yeah, I had to give up the solar business because of my tiredness.